Hello everyone, Agion here, another company heroes who replay spawned on the north side, or south side I mean, as the USF and UKF. We have FreeStyler and Vodka Company. Shouldn't Vodka Company be Soviets, not UKF? As dual austere, we have Cal Calotos Cactiosio also Osilo. I really white and Kronosaur0s, Soros. That one's actually I know a bit better because Kronos is I've who here has played Age of Mythology, by Ensemble Studios back in what was it 2003 2002. That was a fun game, and it's Greek mythology, so Kronos. We have immediate doctrinal lock-ins of Heavy Cav as well as Overwatch. We'll potentially see, well, we most likely will see Jaeger Light Infantry, but Left 18s versus Pershings. Not exactly a versus situation like Pershing versus Tiger. If it does happen, there is a direct fire veterancy ability, which I honestly don't know how effective it is. I don't think I've ever seen any usage for it. We also potentially can see Rangers versus Jaeger Light Infantry, but those are two very different units. We got two Rifleman squads now running on forward, but they're running through negative ground. Two Volksgrenadiers are firing, but however, there's a bit of a line of sight blocker there, so one of the squads were not focused or not firing. Also got reinforcing infantry section with both these Rifleman squad didn't sustain much damage thanks to the fact there's a line of sight blocker. Kupovagen is coming around for a flank, does disrupt those units, allowing these Volksgrenadiers to get some free shots in. And Storm Pioneers came here in the rear fours, and we got a mass retreat by the Allies. Volksgrenadier captured up this point, nobody's touched the munitions. The BP has been secured by the Axis players. These 2 points have been secured by the Allies for the time being. Pioneers up in the field, not being redelegated, and rear echelons will probably be warded away by the Storm Pioneers. You also have another doctrinal lock-in of Grand Offensive, the ever so iconic and effective doctrine. Doesn't seem like all too much, but it's a relatively simple doctrine. You got your smoke, which OKW generally has trouble, allows you to get some smoke for tier 2 play. Infrared STGs, not really super used since you usually would just have your other standard infantry by time out on the field. The Panzer Commander is nice, calling him artillery using a tank. It's a nice ability, as well as the Tiger tank. It's really, you will say it's not exactly overpowered in my opinion. It's just well-rounded, really. You get smoke. Get a slightly upgraded standard infantry, even though I really don't like the design of the current Panzer Fusiliers. A 5-man squad with Car 98. What squad is that? Oh, that's right, that's Volksgrenadiers. I mean Panzer Fusiliers. Honestly, with this doctrinal ability, they should have just made it so it allows additional alternative upgrades to the... Ooh, he nearly lost that squad to the building and in negative cover. I was saying before, they also just changed this upgrade to, rather than having it spawn a new squad, it should just be an upgrade, potential new upgrades for the Volksgrenadier rather than the SDGs. In order to make it different from the regular upgrade, they potentially just make it the 6-man Volksgrenadiers with extra vision, maybe 1 G43 instead of like the 3 or 4 they have from the what's it called, Panzer Fusiliers. As well as change the icon if it goes for that upgrade. Alternatively, something I did in my mod is made into a squad that's a 4-man squad with 2 Panzerschrecks, can lay down tellers, and use AT rifle grenades, a dedicated AT unit. Nice stun grenade there, but he walks straight into it, stunning his own unit. Though this rifleman was warded away, we do got the lieutenant here, can easily be overwhelmed. Infantry sections, looks like he has 5-man squad upgrade, a very necessary upgrade. Does not have Mills bombs. You have to displace that garrison the old-fashioned way. Do got some Jaeger light infantry out in the field. There's in fact 2 of them. So there's plenty of infantry for Kronosaur0s, the red OKW player. But Jaeger light infantry prefers their longer range. In fact, their G43 that they carry, their sniper G43, has more accuracy the farther they are away. So it's best to actually keep them at max range, a move everywhere pretty much. At maximum range, I believe their accuracy is around 110%, versus its close range, which I think it is 70%. I can easily be wrong about that. I do know it's like 100% accurate at long range, excluding any other received accuracy benefits. And it will pick snipe off a model if it hits a model that has less than 80% health. A lot of these times where the Volksgrenadiers are trying to build sandbags, but they're getting caught out. We got the Panzer Fusiliers inside this building. There's only one window on this side, or at least he's close enough where only one window can fire. He got a flanking squad of rear echelon, but there's a lot of windows on this side, but he's losing models quite quickly. G43 is now coming online. It's also in the full health squad, relatively. There goes the Kopenhagen to the lieutenant. In the center, we do have a Vickers being set on up. We do also have the Rifleman squad. Your light infantry capturing with the VP over here. Overall, the VPs are very even, hardly went down, so both sides have been decapping at least one VP quite often. E43 is now picking away. Vickers have not rotated, but the Rifleman should be awarded away this squad. It can be quite problematic. He may lose that squad. The Jaeger light infantry, they can't draw fire. They did not. He may lose that squad. Oh, very close. Smoke came in, but it was a little bit too late to be any help. These Jaeger light infantry do not have access to any sort of grenade. If they were scavenged auction, they have access to the infiltration grenade assault, but he does not. He's not using scavenged doctrine. These guys are starting to get wounded by that Lig. The Lig is currently behind firing over a line of sight blocker, a shot blocker, so he's firing the projectiles up pretty high, which makes him. It takes quite a bit of time before the projectile actually lands. If you're a bit lower right here, they actually follow a lower trajectory path, making them get shots on target quicker. It may not seem like much, but it really does make an impact. We got a massive assault, a lot of riflemen pushing on way forward. Some pioneers are suppressed. They could potentially throw a stun grenade. Both of those light shots were trying to hit the Rangers, but they've been long gone. One reason why the lower shock trajectory is actually quite nice, it also allows them to hit moving targets easier, as well as getting damage sooner. Lieutenant will be forced back. We still got 2 rifleman squads here. Both of them decides to fall back. There's a lot of squads here, and you will lose a lot of models to the Jaeger light infantry. And once they start bedded up, they become really good. They're a little bit subpar when they actually really first come out. They're nice, but not super great. But when they get the veterancy, they can become excellent. Incendiary grenade does come out, but he does retreat in time. We've got the AEC still firing around. Cannon Warfare is out on the field. The AEC, interesting option. Not super great against infantry. Nothing for it to shoot at the moment. So overall, a little bit of a waste of fuel for that AEC. Speaking of fuel, we do have even fuel for the OKW players. They both have half track out on the field, or at least one out in the field, one's building. They do have enough for the sheer panzer quarters. It's most likely what both players are going for. I don't see mechanized HQ being all too that great because he needs to. He has a doctrine artillery. No point in getting the Stukas of Foos. Lux and Puma highly unlikely at this point as well. More light shots coming on in. Your light infantry just sort of getting pushed around by the AEC, unable to get shots off onto this infantry section. It's actually quite important. The infantry section should, however, just retreat at this point. Dude got a 50 cal now set on up. Now these Jaeger light infantry will force to fall back. Infantry section over here being annoying, capturing up the points just like an AI. Capturing up points behind the lines. Eventually, the SWS half track should set up, perhaps be it more defensively over here. If I pull up the tactical map, you can see here. Oh, the VP only covers up the. Oh, he lost a unit. But the VP only covers a small area. So he can set up the half track very close to the VP. Looks like the AEC actually went down that engagement, most likely to the Veken Warfare. Lags could easily push in some damage as well, but can't really say for sure. You got the Panzer Fusiliers in the down this cover, and the SWS will make short work of these riflemen. This cutoff point is now secure and highly unlikely to be decaptured anytime soon. Nope. The cutoff point's just now secure. Allows them to gain access to fuel more readily. Now you have to decapture that point directly. We do got two Flamer squads here. He has gone for the Royal Engineers, which means he has access to AVRE. AVRE just seems always a little bit buggy and actually getting his projectile on target. You have to sort of shoot behind the target rather than on the target in order to get a direct hit. Either way. Riflemen, Rangers, rear echelon are now moving over here. Mine could have been spotted right there. He saw the formation. He potentially could have saw them building. I'm surprised we don't see any Minesweeper on the rear echelon at this point. Nice smoke wards away the 50 cal, no problem. Infantry sections in this light cover over here. Oh, losing that AEC is, I just realized something. Losing that AEC means he doesn't have access to a cheap, good vehicle for a command vehicle. We got a stun grenade there, of course, well, stun the infantry section, but they'll probably still win out that engagement thanks to the HMG. Flamer on the flank, but way too low in health. It can easily go down if you focus fire. He is focus firing. Sniper does get one last shot off to get a model, but the other guys couldn't get another kill. Bar is now rushing forward. Jaeger light infantry way too low in health. Potentially should just retreat on back. Like I said, it does better at long range, not close range. At least the Sniper G43. The other guys that carry just standard old Grenadier Car 98s. Volks Grenadiers, nice and centered, will displace them from the heavy cover. Does prevent the capture to the last possible moment. We do have this IR half-track. The IR half-track will, of course, give him some great spotting for either his left 18s, if he gets any, and for his allies, Lags. As the Fusiliers on the flank, does spot the MG there. Decal will, of course, set on up. He decides to back off. That's a good idea. You got some flanking Stone Pioneers as well as infrared STG-44s. Now he has a good idea of what doctrine he's going for because there's only two doctrines that include that. No other doctrine sort of revealed what he's going for. He probably most likely assume Grand Offensive. Though the Command Panther's always in style. Even though he's in light cover, that only gives him his intersection combat bonuses. It actually doesn't give any defensive bonuses thanks to the infrared STG-44s. The cal set on up, we'll go ahead and suppress these units. It'll take quite a bit of time before it actually becomes fully pinned down. Looks like there's many been lost sight of them as well. We do have a mortar pit set on up. He's going to have to use it for direct fire. It's pretty far back, so he's going to have to mainly target the barrages in order for getting good usage out of it, but potentially be able to ward away the MGs that may pop up that haven't popped up yet. Do have the now the mortar pit now spotted. Both of the lights now engaging. He can always counter barrage them, but he may want to brace. Yes, he does go ahead and brace. He's going to wait off the incendiary grenade. Nope, he's going to throw it immediately. If he would have waited for a moment, it would have been good, but now he's going to have to minimize the damage received. Both the lights are forced back. Actually, one was actually captured. The lieutenant decrewed one and captured the other, but it looks like it got a bit stuck up. Shogun Pioneers can probably decrew it, but and there's flanking Panzer Fusiliers, so that, like, oh, there goes a Volksgrenadier squad, but that, like, will most likely not be secured. Yep, gets resecured by the Panzer Fusiliers. Coming in, they are the heavy engineers, so they have increased his armor or reduced target size, but either way, with mixed with flamer, not a really good combo. It's not. Flamers have to be a bit more mobile. Sure, it makes him more resilient, but he's going to sustain more damage, not receive less. Thompson Rangers, a bit stacked up, could potentially get bundle grenaded, but did not. You got, oh, but the legs do say, yes, I want to hit those. Urban tank out in the field, 8G rounds. Panzer IV out in the field is upgraded with the MG42. Retreat, treats them back nice and early, can't be afforded to lose manpower. No mines in the area. So this mortar pit could be rushed down. The heavy engineers also tells us that Anvil was researched. He may be eyeing not for Churchill, but actually for the AVRE. Well, that would be quite interesting. Do you have another 50 cal out on the build queue? Do have the AP grounds equipped. The Panzer IV does get the first shot off. The Panzer IV does have great armor, so it generally would win in a standard engagement. You got some sort of artillery being called on in. I think that was Major already. The Major's currently retreating. Yep, saw some artillery coming on in. Perhaps maybe a decoy barrage would have been a bit better. He is at Specialty 2, so he does have access to a decoy barrage. Munitions for our decoy barrage could be good. Oh, we do have the incendiary mortars coming in by the UKF player. This barrage takes over a long duration, so we'll lock down that area for quite some time. Tiger tank available. Tiger tank has been deployed. Most likely upgrade with the Panzer Commander. He has a lot of conditions. He can make use of those barrages. Those barrages can help displace any sort of AT gun, machine guns. It's a good way to support. Won't do as much damage versus infantry, but displace all the high value targets, high priority targets can be quite nice. One of the lights is up Veteran C2. Oh! Great shot by the Panzer IV. Let's roll a miss there. Sherman tank has repaired enough, so it can actually, and the Panzer IV has received an entire shot as well. So the Panzer IV only needs receive 3 penetrating shots before death, while the Sherman tank would still take 4, or a Faust, or I mean AT, yeah, Faust, and a 3 shots. Yes, we do have the spotter upgrade, so he has access to artillery barrages. Sherman tank not fully repaired. Looks like the next vehicle will probably be the Pershing. After seeing the Tiger tank, most likely the Pershing. There's enough CPs for an artillery gun, and he also has a lot of manpower and fuel. So shortly, he has enough resources for 2 LF-18s. Probably not a great idea. 1 would probably be plenty enough to help displace those 50 cals, but 2, if he really wants to, he can get it. We do have some artillery being called on in. I think it's from the Major. Yes, it is. Great shot on the Rifleman squad. Ooh. Major does score ahead with the artillery. Likes, oh, the IR half-track spotting for the likes does get a nice barrage, does even get a couple penetrating shots. The penetrating shots are actually quite important for likes, gives them lots of veterancy. Make sure you're ready to flank. This point is still secured in favor of the Allied players. In fact, the Allies do have a triple cap. The tickets are in favor of the Allies as well, but only by a small margin at this moment. The cal set on up. There is a nice group of infantry for it. The Rangers need to fall back. He is trying to throw a frag, but does cancel before. Tiger tank having his gun facing towards the Royal Engineers. They do have access to an AT grenade. The AT grenade is cast and hits. And of course, pens and snares the engine. .50 cal now engaging the Storm Pioneers, does suppress them. Rifleman will get a nice close range. Tiger tank still is in range, so he has to be very careful. That Tiger tank has been quite deadly. Oh, artillery been called on in. He's trying. At this point, is nowhere near being captured, so they should just fall back, get away from that point, allow the artillery just to fall, and hit away happily on the ground instead of on themselves. What was that announcer? Did he say something about funny? Does anything look funny? I don't know, that announcer said something different. I don't remember a voice like that. We do have the first AVRE out on the field. The only one available at... It's only limited one at a time. There's a lot of line sight blockers. The AVRE could go ahead and just sit here. Can easily help secure that central point. Six-pounder does destroy the main gun of the Panzer IV. Not enough damage for a snare, but he may throw one in anyways. The Sherman tank has received 1 shot. I hear left 18. Yes, we do in fact have 1 left 18 out in the field. I would say 1 is good, 2 is probably the most you want, 3 will be overkill, and probably a bad idea. You could go for a Jagdpanzer. I would say Jagdpanzer is probably the best option at this point. The Sherman tank is severely wounded, injured damage, 2 shots away from death, 1 shot away from death. He does have access to HE rounds, though he does use the off-map smoke. Does hold fire, and it was the smoke rounds were in the wrong area, and that's a dead Sherman. T-gun set on up. Let's get a penetrating hit there. EVRE facing the wrong direction. Do have enough munitions for the sector assault. AVRE may be trying to eye to nail that Panzer IV. Nothing in the air to kill it off. If it does, it won't one-shot it. Can do a significant amount of damage. EVRE definitely has been spotted now. As it aim up a shot, fires, does get a minor damage. Not even a full AT gun shot worth of damage. Two Storm Pioneers are out. Good amount of repairs for the red austere player. Looks like we do have a half-track out in the field. Looks like he's going to eye for a forward repair HQ to help repair. His ally can do the same, parked next to each other. A significant amount of free repairs in one location can be quite nice. AVRE has been spotted right there, so he shouldn't be worried about engaging of it firing anytime soon, but these left legs are way too close. Rangers going to eye to move on forward. You got the Tiger Tank Tower to ward away the Rangers. You have the Stuka Assault Sector is coming on in. That's definitely being spotted now. Perhaps maybe they should eye getting anti-aircraft weapon out. Maybe not a Centaur, but something cheaper like a M15. The cow does get killed off, was unable to pack up all the way. Pershing does try to decrew the machine gun, but oh, he still has a chance. Oh, he gets a orthodox model right there. Rangers on retreat. He could throw. Does the throw a frag on the retreat path? Does wipe out one of the squads. Needed to target on the 50 cal. Does decrew the 50 cal. Nothing area to stop him. So you can potentially recapture it, even reset it up to help protect that VP. EVRE looks like he fired another shot. Got some kills there, not a whole lot. Is loaded up and ready to fire once again, but definitely gets spotted by the IR half-track. Panzers IV received one AT gun shot. 50 cal looks like it was destroyed entirely, however. Flare being thrown on out. Very nice. Ooh, good amount of damage, but no no models down. Does receive a couple shots there. The Pershings can be relatively fragile if the rounds start penetrating. Pershing is going to move back on forward. Does get a penetrating shot there. AT grenade has been fired. Wasn't enough to actually... Wait. That was definitely enough damage to damage the engine, so I don't know what happened there. We've got a Jagdpanzer out on the field. He has used the designated command vehicle on the AVRE, but does affect the rate of fire of any vehicle, including abilities such as the 290mm. 90, I thought it was a 280mm. You guys got some artillery raining in on the AVRE. That was not a actually penetrating hit on the AVRE. That was actually rolling a miss. Rifleman squad gets wiped out. It's fired, but rolls a huge miss. It'll be another 95 seconds in order for it to recharge. Before, without the ability, I think it was only a 60-second recharge. Use the command vehicle on the AVRE is not exactly super great. Stuka is now coming on in on the AVRE, sustaining huge amounts of damage. You can always use vehicle crew repair. We have a Centaur in the build queue, a very necessary option just to dissuade those aircraft. However, what they don't know is the OPW player that uses it is running low on munitions. The other player has a lot of munitions, so you can use this coordinated barrage. Wow, the coordinated barrage is only 80 munitions. Well, yeah, I think when they off that ability, they reduce the cost primarily, as well as reduce the cast time or the drop time. Before, the drop time was like over 15 seconds, if I remember correctly. Something unusable.
Points are down to 300. We've lost a fighting position.
Ooh, the Pershing has now sustained huge amounts of damage. Luckily, there are the heavy engineers. The U.S. player has actually lost a lot of men. He needs another. He can replace. He's running low. He has no manpower. He needs a Jackson. Ooh. Somehow the ambulance went down, and I have no idea how. Maybe it was from the sector assault, but I have no idea actually what took it down. Perhaps a random shot went that direction. I really have no idea. The Allies needed to, at least the USF player needs to just need to regroup his forces. He needs more manpower, which he needs time for that. They are trying to capture the VPs in order to help us extend the time. The Allied players pressure I, being playing a bit more defensively, does prevent the capture of the VPs, and maintaining the capture of the VPs while they need to recover is actually quite good. That means it gives them a lot of extra time in order to recover, reorganize, regroup, replenish, and so on and so forth.
A capture point is being overrun.
Pershing, however, is now full, nearly full health. Received one, not even a full shot. I think it was an artillery shot doing some damage, but not a full damage shot.
Our capture point. They're trying
You got a reconnaissance overflight from the command vehicle. Always be shot down. Tiger tank now moving on forward. Fires a shot, almost wipes out the infantry section, but does not.
Tactical point being captured. Tank ready. Infantry, dealing with the NG. The capture point is being overrun.
This VP could potentially be secured. You got the intersection over here capturing up the point. See a large number of stuff back home. Repairing up the AT gun. You don't see that very often, but might as well. Igari can just ward away all the infantry. Doesn't he? Just mere presence will force his enemy to retreat. He can't risk a shot coming down on him and losing a squad. Pushing way too low on health in order to push on forward. We've got a supporting Panther now for the Tiger tank.
Krauts are taking one of our points.
Both of them with the spotters. One of the coordinated barrages are global cooldowns. Probably should for that cheap price. Aviary setting on up. Gets a direct hit on the Panzer IV. And if they can rush it down to kill it off, the Pershing is nowhere near. Does give the AVRE a large amount of veterancy, but nothing to capitalize on it. The AT gun was not close enough either. It was like the left 18 was trying to hit this mortar pit, but it's at maximum range. Not very good accuracy at that range. Ooh, great hit on that on the Panzer Fusiliers. We do got Jackson out. And as well as the Pershing. This should be enough to help ward away these units, but the Jackson's receiving too much fire. Needs to start reverse moving back. Pershing needs to go up front, use its armor and more health, more durability in order to soak up some damage. Jackson's just way too low on health right now. There are no rear echelons for repairs to Pershing, so he's going to have to solely rely on his buddy for repairs.
Combat unit ready for action.
The Ranger squad on the field, that's quite necessary because he He's lacking infantry as well. The lags being very problematic. No counter has been deployed in order to gauge them. It'll have to be a Scott. You can't use a pack howitzer versus them when there's a left 18 out on the field. The left 18s also have veteran C3. So have to be a Scott in order to gauge those lags, which that's not exactly super reliable either. When you want to invest on fuel and pull into another Jackson. Let's get two nice penetrating shots right there. The VPs are in fifth by the Axis players, but only by a very small margin. Both players down to the last 200 VPs.
The enemy are at 200 points.
And they spotted the riflemen, that's for sure.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Yari sustaining more damage, has another shot available, but probably should get some repairs. Jaeger Light Infantry forced to withdrawal, pushing almost at 2 stars of veterancy, and when it gets to 2 stars of veterancy, it does get reduced scatter even more, and it already has pretty good scatter. Firefly out on the field. Firefly is definitely a good idea. They need more AT armor, and the British player does have plenty of AT infantry when it comes to the Centaur, AVRE, as well as all the infantry sections. It is lacking munitions, however. It's been spending it quite a bit. Looks like there was a miss by the Firefly right there. Let's get a hit there. Panzer IV is now moving forward. Does get a nice penetration shot. The Firefly is one shot away from death. Ooh, does some good hits there. And they're moving at a slow rate due to the fact that they're heavy engineers. Another good hit. He just needs to fall back and get it repaired. Pershing way too low in health. He needs just to fall back. It's a one shot away from death. We got the Hevap. Nope, that's not Hevap rounds. I see the combined arms. That's actually combined arms. We have another Jackson on the build queue. Looks like he's already lost that squad of Rangers. He needs rear echelons. He needs more repairs. Yari's gun's still on cooldown. He's used the overflight once again. He's going to eye for the... oh, it's pretty low in health. If he gets a direct hit... It's not. If he gets a direct hit, he may be able to wipe out that Panzer IV. He does have vision of where it is. Panzer IV has vision of it and spotting it. And it's at Veteran C5. Very nice. Looks like he maybe got a couple models in that Jaeger Light Infantry, but not a whole lot. That Jaeger Light Infantry also has a bar. That's a deadly Jaeger Light Infantry squad. We got a penetrating shot there by the Jackson.
The enemy are attacking an emplacement.
Tiger tank receiving quite a bit of damage. It is at Veteran 3. Jagdpanzer out on the front does receive the first shot, but the Firefly does have a very low rate of fire. Yari's main gun still charging on up. Panther out on the front is receiving fire from the Jackson. We do have some artillery being... No, it's the Stuka's the sector assault. But the Centaur does get a splash on one aircraft, to splash on 2 aircraft. Just 2 aircraft remaining. This like command vehicle is a good thing. Is a good idea to put it on the Centaur, since you don't really need high rate of fire in order to shoot down aircraft. Though it is nice, not a huge thing. This fire shot there, but fired it way too close. You have to shoot behind the target in order for it to well, exactly when you want it. Scott is out on the field, very nice. I see the Scott is a good idea, but oh, body blocking. Good fire an HE round, but there goes the Pershing. Looks like the Scott may be next. Yep, Scott's. Holy crap, that rate of fire. That Tiger tank is firing really fast. Vet 5 Panzer IV, Vet 5 Tiger tank. I think the Axis players have this game in the bag. The UKF player just has a lot of resources and a lot of units on the field. Not exactly resources. But the US player, he's lost too much infantry. All of his vehicles were gone. Ooh, that Firefly. And that's a dead intersection.
We're down to 100 points now. Heavy tank reporting.
That's the issue with sort of the AVRE. It may look nice, but it's not really that great. They would change. That was a big miss. I think he was trying to stop the capture, but it was not being captured.
Heavy armor ready to go.
The mod that I have, I sort of changed the AVRE in order so, and rather than firing as ability as a shot, it more acts like closer to a Brumbar, a very heavy Brumbar. Which honestly would improve the damage quite a bit. Something a bit more constant, sustained, less reliant on is it being spotted, less prone for wiping as well. And I noticed there's also 2 IR half tracks. Both of them by the red OKW player. This Left 18 has been fired for a long time because there was no targets for it to fire on. Direct fire requires veteran C5. No one I never see it. Air tank, Jagdpanzer, forcing with the AVRE. The Firefly has been doing quite a bit of damage, but it's way too much armor by the Axis players. Looks like one of the range has been upgraded with bars. That is actually a very potent ranger. Stuka Sector Assault is coming on in. Centaur is still alive, is starting to pitch away against those aircraft. Overall, the Axis players have this in the bag. Also, the Left 18 is barraging the HQ sector. And at this point, it's done. So AVRE is just trying to find a good shot, but it's dead. F3 Firefly does get increased damage, but it's dead now. Maybe it'll fire off one shot there. Nope. And that's the end of the game. This is Agion saying thank you for watching and signing off.